What's good, family? How y'all doing? I'm just gonna get straight to it because I'm blown. I'm not really blown, but it happens. But yesterday I had recorded a really good reading. I thought it was going well. It was a little long, but I was really geeked about it, and the shit just crashed, and I was like, "What the fuck?" So I'm just gonna take that as a sign that I might need to record a little bit shorter, or if I need to, I don't know, going with the flow. That's just where I'm at. But I pulled the tarot cards for the collective for the past, present, future. And then I'm going to pull some more advice cards. I have some Dragon Oracle cards that I pulled. And then I'm going to use this deck for love. So I'm going to pull some love cards. And then I'm going to close this out with some affirmations. And we're going to get up out of here. So you already know how I'm getting down. Got my raw papers. I hope you got your weed, your tea. I got my water. I got my things. I got my goods. We're going to get it cracking. So, July, am I right? What the fuck was July? What was this summer? This was a hot girl, hot person summer for real. Like, definitely got your ass scorched, burnt up. Phoenix turned to ashes. Definitely hot enough to turn your ass into a phoenix, and ashes and into a phoenix. Yeah, shit. I don't even know how else to break that down. That's what happened. Grateful for everything. Let's start that. I'm grateful for everything. I feel like sometimes, I don't know, like, a lot of things happen and you can't explain it, and then it takes a little time or a couple weeks. And I feel like that's kind of what July was, and August is kind of like clearing that up and putting things back where they need to go and where they need to go now, because you might have had places and things and people where you can't go back to those things and you need to go a different direction. So that's kind of what the cards are talking about. So let me smack this thing a couple. A lot of the things I kind of meditate on, and the word and the phrase that keeps coming up for me is, you're losing something to gain something better. That's what keeps coming up. Whatever you're losing right now, or whatever you did lose, whatever was lost, you're gaining something better in its place and in its position. So keep that in mind when how things are changing right now. Whatever you're losing right now, you're going to gain something better. In the past, you know what, and I also say this too, sometimes the things we lose, we don't even know we need to get rid of them, you know what I'm saying? So, to start us off, I pulled a card for the past, the present, and the future, and here go my nose itching with these readings, and we have the card at the bottom. But our card in the past is the Devil card. And the Devil card, to me, and that's why someone just told me wait until August. I was like, I'm not going to read nothing until August. Get the fuck up out of July. I'm so grateful for Cancer season washing me and turning me and topsy-turvy me under the water. I really thought I was going to drown at one point, but I came out, buoyed my ass up, and now we are on hot-ass land with the Lions in the Leo season, and being bold and being like, I can do anything. I survived the worst. I'm hearing like survive the worst parts of you. So take that in mind. And and maybe, and I think that also should be a good thing, is that if this is like the worst, like, I feel like you should understand that you are better off in a better position, because you are gaining this understanding of like your limits and boundaries and the things that hurt and things that are tender and places you don't want to deal with people and don't want to be touched and don't want to be whatever, confrontational, aggressive, whatever words people want to use, the connotations don't matter. Just think about ways that you needed to go through these things, and these things you need to change about yourself came about because you were put in these very tough situations, and you had to make tough calls, and et cetera, et cetera. So what I love about these cards is that the devil really kind of talks about this idea that the things that, and we looked at the word inhibitions yesterday, and I looked it up, and the word inhibitions means hindering, blocking, arresting, prison, so, and imprisoning. So these the things that have been blocking and hindering you and imprisoning you, you're leaving them in the behind. You're leaving them in the past, because we're moving into the future, into the present, and this is the King of Pentacles, which is talking about abundance and being more I'm not even saying like you haven't been goal oriented, but being more goal oriented and really figuring out where the fruits of your labor are coming from and how to create and keep creating on these fruits of your labor and getting a large sum of money and protecting and being outgoing and vivacious and being daring and determined and looking good and being good. And I hope and pray, and this card is saying it, that everybody, you know what I'm saying, who watches this reading or this reading resonates with, you'll probably be getting some money, some nice large amounts of money. The King of Pentacles, look at all this stuff around the King of Pentacles. This nigga ain't getting $100. This is a nice amount of money. This might be a new job. This might be something. Money, large sums of money coming in from you, either your talents and the things you're good at, or somebody else, another source, whatever, somebody seeing your hard work, whatever the case may be. There's definitely some things coming in. And the King of Pentacles being like a person, I feel like this is you. Like, it is so crazy because all the rest of the cards are the major arcana. So if you don't know what the major arcana and the minor arcana is, you can definitely Google and look up and get some more information. But basically, long story short, when it comes to explaining it, it's 78 cards in the tarot. And the major arcana consists of 21 cards, 22 cards. Because 0 still counts as a number, but it's 1 through 21. But anyways, 22 cards, and then the rest are suit cards, sweet cards. And those cards are like pentacles, swords, wands, and cups. And this is the king that rules and takes leadership, I ain't gonna say ownership, but, you know, order, whatever, however you want to explain it, because I don't even know how to explain it. It's like, because I'm learning a lot about language right now, what I'm trying to say, and being intentional and saying exactly what I'm trying to say in the ways that I could say it. But basically, this person is like head honcho of the motherfucking Pentacle cards. The Queen of Pentacles is too, but in another way. This one's more about the material in a lot of ways. But there's definitely a lot of heart chakra energy. This person is definitely, I feel like, healthy in the heart and health and all these grapes and all these fruit and all this growth and vegetation and things growing, things being ready to blossom again and be harvested. So just know a lot of your hard work paid off, and it'll be time to create more hard work. And I think that goes into the Hermit card, which is, I was talking about a couple things. So the fact that the Hermit card is the number 9 in the deck, and we're in the 8th month right now, which is August, then we're going to September. So in September, I feel like you're going to be doing a lot of introspection, and again, that does not mean that you'll be cut off and isolated from people. You can't go out and turn up and have fun, but I know you'll probably be creating more organization, and you'll be able to look back at all the wisdom and things that you have learned, and then you'll be able to move forward and do better things and greater things, and really be able to put context to, and put words to, and put a face to, really, because you have this lantern here. So there is a light being illuminated. There's light being shined. So you are being illuminated, and you're changing. You're wrapping up a cycle, because the 9 is the number end of cycle. So you're wrapping up a cycle, and you are going to change, and that change is going to bring you into a better place. And that's motherfucking wonderful. Less about the future. Like I always try to not focus too much on the future, because we'll get there when we get there. But right now, in this moment, I'm gonna read from this. You know what? I want to go get this book, but I wonder if it's necessary. Let me sit and think. It's probably not necessary. Hold on. I'm like, this shit probably not necessary. King of Pentacles, and I'm just gonna read the words because I think they're important. The Queen of Pentacles really focuses on health and mental health. I feel like that's what we kind of already been focusing on, but from a different perspective. Sometimes you need to be nurtured into like your the really tough feelings. Like sometimes like you need to be nurtured out of the tough feelings. Sometimes you just really need that shit to just be. You need to be wiped out sometimes. Sometimes motherfuckers gotta come and not even necessarily wrecking ball, but really wipe shit out, like on some water shit. If I can use water analogies, wipe the shit out, clear it out. Whatever ain't worth staying, they can't stand, the old wood, the old whatever, all that's gotta come down. Definitely had a tower moment, and I feel like those breakdowns and those illusions are bringing you to a higher consciousness. But I'm gonna read the King of Pentacles first. Wealth, business, leadership, security, discipline, and abundance. Just like I said, because the Devil card doesn't say you have a lack of discipline, but sometimes you are stuck in a comfort zone and old subconscious things and fears and anxieties and habits and addictions and things like that keep you in a place, and you don't want to be there no more. You're breaking out of that because it's in the past. So you're breaking out of those things and you're coming into a place where you're like, I want to be wealthy inside and out. I want to be able to make the right decisions and meet the right people and do the right things and put myself in the best positions I know possible. And that is only possible when you keep things, you stop keeping yourself from, you can stop keeping your, it's like you stop self-sabotaging, best place I could put it, and keep yourself out of your own way. That's really what I was trying to say. I just feel like everything is just about being well planned and being methodical, and like I said, just having a plan and a purpose and going step by step. Like the person who who made all of these grapes grow in the first place, all this vegetation, was somebody who was dedicated. You cannot take care of plants and not be dedicated. You cannot take care of plants and not be intuitive and making sure you have, because somebody got to take care of the plants and somebody got to water them and make sure they're good and replant and repot. You got to take care of your shit, period. So keep that in mind. It's not about taking risk anymore right now. It's more so just about being in a place where the risk that you have taken, the work that you have done, now will start building on itself and it'll start having legs and it will be very lucrative for you. And this is you taking care of yourself, because the pentacles don't also represent money and abundance and on that literal sense. It can also be like your body and your health and things. So this looks like somebody who's healthy and wealthy and taken care of, and it's very much so about business and taking care of business. Taking care of business. That song came in my head, but yeah, that's what's happening. So the Lovers is the card that was at the bottom. So there might be some love relationships going on right now. There might be some interactions you're having. You're trying to figure out what you want to do. Do you want to do this new thing? You want to do this old thing? You want to, what do you love right now? What do you care about? What are you trying to dedicate yourself to? Like, be not even disciplined about love where you're like, I got to be in a monogamous married ass relationship. It's just really like, if I'm dedicated to finding my sexual liberation, how do I do that? How do I go about that methodically? How do I go about that with thought? How do I go about that intentionally? So that is what it's about, being intentional and creating off of what you have started to, what you had sparked, what was just a spark at one point, now it's something you completely build on and created. So that's wonderful. So I'm going to pull some advice cards. And what I saw, the cards that were here were the Magician, but we're going to see if it come up again. Ancestors, can I have some advice for the collective for this reading? What is the advice for the collective for this reading? Thank you for always giving me and giving us the answers and the messages and the love and the support and the security and comfort and nurturing that we all deserve and need. And we appreciate you for everything that we can, accomplish and do with your and y'all assistance. Thank you. I think intentionally praying to your ancestors and saying sweet things to them and speaking to them kindly and being open and being honest and being, like I said, methodical and intentional about what's going on, period. I'm already knowing. Let's just see. We're going to pull these. Period, Pooh. Period. Period. Same shit, man. The cards don't lie. The cards don't lie. Ever. Ever. Definitely talking about that healing, coming through that tower moment. The star is the card after the tower, which is about being vulnerable and open and nurturing your spiritual and earthly matters, finding balance, finding that equilibrium internally and externally, being that place of the spiritual, but also being here on earth and knowing that you are a spirit having a human experience and that everything that you are stripped of makes space for better, and everything that you have been through and the water has cleansed you. Thinking about birth, as we speak about the Empress card at the bottom, people usually always say, like, you might be pregnant or somebody. I don't see that. I really hear that metaphor of you coming through the womb. It is another rebirth again, because we have the Six of Swords, and I pulled that yesterday. We have the intuition, the High Priestess here, which is about that gestation, that intuition, that middle ground of we're going from not knowing anything to knowing a little something and figuring it out and putting the pieces together and letting the answers come to you, to being in that actual place of knowing. And it doesn't have to be a bad place, like knowing secrets and shit. It could really just be like you knowing yourself, knowing what you want, knowing what you want to do, seeing the work that you created come from that place of like, I don't know where this is going, and your work bursting and blooming and growing and becoming anew. This is, if some of y'all have businesses and work and stuff, this is like your baby. These are your babies. This is your work. This is what you love. And it's creating this self-love, this abundance. It's here. This advice is saying, like, keep filling that cup. It's overflowing. People cannot resist it. You can't resist it. It's wonderful. It's beautiful. You're soaring high. You're flying high. It's beautiful. And then it's going to open new chapters and new doors. And this intuition is definitely talking about the pomegranates. Definitely talking about this. Pomegranates are a fruit that a lot of times it comes up and it's an offering and different things that people use it for. But it's also just like a really good fruit. And it looks like it resembles certain parts of the body. And it's good for those parts of the body. Definitely hearing like healing of the sacral chakra, healing of the sacral, healing things, getting back in your sexual, spiritual, creative bag, because we all know that the creative energy and the sexual energy go one in the hand and one in the same. I would also like to add that this woman has on a rainbow-colored necklace, charm, necklace, jewelry. And I think that is something about whatever you are birthing. It is, some of you all might be queer and having kids right now, which is beautiful. Congratulations. I don't know where that come from, but that's definitely beautiful. But I just think there's something about this embodying every aspect of you, masculine, feminine, the dark and the light, and the sexual and the chill, and like just everything having this complete and total balance. And this complete and total balance is moving us forward towards things that are less stressful and bumpy, removing us from these very turbulent and traumatic and chaotic and all this shit, all this going back and forth tit for tat shit is for the birds. So it's just like removing all of that, even if it's those conversations that I just listed and said are the ones you're having with yourself, the way you talk to yourself. Getting away from these very toxic and unnecessary ways that we talk to ourselves. And a lot of definitely things coming into a balance and abundance and things working for the better, and definitely probably more things that'll be coming in, and more things you can build on and work through. Getting over the heartbreak after so much time of dealing with certain things, stuff will start coming through. So it's like, but you still first had to feel it, and it had to been felt. So, the only way you can heal certain things is by acknowledging them. So, whatever you've been dealing with and having to acknowledge is being healed, and now you're able to move forward. Ashe. So, let's get into these oracle cards I pulled, and then I'm going to pull some love cards, and I'm going to close this out with some affirmations. So, we got Dusty Pink Dragon these are my dragon cards. And then we have Golden Orange Dragon, and then we have Dark Galactic Blue Dragon. Dark Blue Galactic Dragon. These cards are so cool. I love dragons, but they be corny sometimes. Anyways. These cards was like advice and just some oracle cards I thought was important. And the one message that I got from these cards was that, maybe you need to start writing more, writing some letters, sending letters, figuring out what, you want to say, communicate, write, plan, work out, work on, do, work to do, like to-do lists, all of these things, writing them down. This dragon is talking about this galactic information that you're gaining from the universe. If you look real close, this dragon has this bag and all these little stars and beautiful stars, and these things are being put into this bag, and this bag is wrapped a certain way, particularly for those messages and those blessings and those wishes, the dreams to come true, will not come out in bursts. Like, this bag is a safety net. So your ancestors and the things that you've created and everything you've done up to this point has created a safety net for those dreams to even come through. So I say to that. And being the person who magnifies love and radiance and helping those in need and remembering your magnificence, Leo season. It's time to be confident and bold and straightforward and not work from a place of the ego, but work from a place of the heart. A lot of times niggas think Leos are only about the ego, but they are also really about the heart. They rule the heart. So always keep that in mind. Alright, so working on radiating higher love, and then speaking of love, we're going to get to this. And what I love was that I wanted to do this reading yesterday, but I think it was going to be too long, so I think the universe just wanted me, I don't know if you want to be like, get to the point, nigga, like, just get to the point. And I'm awesome, okay. I was damn near finna make out with this water bottle. That water was good, so. Anyways. Ancestors, what's good? Calling on the Most High, Spirit guides, guardian angels, ancestors, love, protection, truth. Can we please have some cards for love? Can you tell me what's currently going on in love? Because we all are one on some level, so there's something we all can relate and resonate with. What is currently going on with the collective in love? And more specifically, romantic love, We'll go that route because I know that's pretty much what. Because you can love your friends and your family and your job and your dogs and your pets, but we'll talk about romantic love specifically. What is the current situation for love for the collective right now? My speaker. That should go off sometime. It'd be random as hell. Alright. Period. Okay. And then, what is the advice for the collective for love? Let this also include self-love as well. I'm hearing that some of the people or situations you're dealing with are very multifaceted. So, like, you might need more answers or might need more clarification before you make a decision. So, keep that in mind. You might not know everything about this person, or like, maybe you really fuck with this person, and your schedule's different. It's a lot of levels, but I think this is multifaceted, so I don't think it's just clean cut yes or no answers. So we'll just see what comes out. We'll just see. Advice for love and self-love for the collective. 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 Well, that card came out again. Okay, I'm just going to show y'all after I'm done. Lord. What did I say? Does that say multifaceted? It's backwards, but nigga, that say multifaceted. Sometimes it'd be funny, but sometimes I'll be like, damn, that's real. But advice, I feel like right now your love life is trying to expand and love is trying to come in, and I think you should accept it and give it and receive it and achieve it. And I feel like a lot of times we are taught that we are not lovable when we're going through crazy ass situations, or our money ain't together, or our quote unquote body ain't together, or whatever, our shit ain't together, but that's a lie. You are lovable at all points and all times. But I think the times that you shouldn't I ain't gonna say that. You shouldn't be out seeking love or seeking romantic love in situations, sexual relationships, is when you don't believe that and don't see that for yourself. That's, I think, the bigger point here, is that you are lovable at all times and at every time, but the times that you might not be able to see that, or the times where love might not be working for you, or your romantic relationships are not working for you, is when you don't believe that you are not lovable. A word. And it came from the source, so motherfuckers got it too. So I think right now is a time for like celebrations and celebrating yourself as much as you, I don't know. I think sometimes we think we gotta go out and buy a whole fucking bottle and be at the motherfucking club and have that shit, have the sparklers on it, and get a new pair of fucking pants and shit for a nigga to be celebrated. No. Going to the park, calling friends over, hanging out, doing something you really need to do, just saying it, doing, like, just living and knowing that you are celebrated is also a feeling too. So that's something I'm feeling too. Your divine life purpose. I feel like the things that are going on right now with your love life, there are signs, and there's inner guidance, and there's things that are going to help you, lead you to fulfillment, and help you figure out what the hell is going on and who you need to date and who you don't need to be dating. And last but not least, the multifaceted. So again, the person you're dealing with or the situation you're asking about, there are many layers and dimensions. So those are not all bad and those are not all good. I think it's up to your discernment and how you want to deal with it. And I think that should also be positive I think it's kind of positive because some of y'all might have been like, oh man, fuck this, or I don't want to deal with this, or damn, I'm finna give up on that. And that shit is like, no, I think you should maybe reconsider and do a little bit more research. And then you can kind of go from there because it's all up to you. Don't stay in nothing abusive or anything. This message is not for people who are constantly being shown the signs, because that's the card that came up too, that you need to be finding fulfillment somewhere else and not be dealing with no bullshit and letting motherfuckers. This is for fairly new people, people who just met these people who maybe only been talking a few. I'm hearing like 3-4 weeks, like, you know, nothing new. Like, I mean, nothing like, you know, just it just. Or I'm hearing renewed, like something that's being renewed, like you renewed your vows, or y'all back in a relationship and y'all have been apart for a minute. Like I'm hearing like 3-4 years, like y'all been apart, like y'all have had time to figure out what the hell, who you were separately, and then y'all didn't still have energy, and then y'all might have dated other people and whatever, and then y'all came together. Y'all had a clean slate situation. That's different. But don't be dealing with abuse. Fuck that shit. Stay away from that shit. I think what's currently going on with your love life is that you're unnecessarily worrying about shit. So you might think somebody don't fuck with you, or something ain't going right, or something is going another way, and it's really like, yo, G, like you kind of tweaking. It's not, you're unnecessarily worrying, and release that burden and give it to the ancestors, and the answers you need will come when it's time, and they're probably already here, and I think you just need to relax and they'll come. Busy times and multitasking. So you might be really busy right now, and you might be trying to be busy to cover up things and be busy to act like you know, you ain't thinking about love or thinking about somebody. But I think you need to really not use work as a place of hindrance. Like you said, inhibitions, hindrance, and blocking as a prison. You really need to let love be a place of sanctuary and peace and experience and understanding yourself and introspection as well. Socialize and join in. I think it's really good for you to go out and socialize and talk to people and see what's good and hit people up, text people. Again, don't be texting no weak ass, crumb ass, lame ass niggas because you bored and lonely. You hit somebody new up. I'd rather you hit up a random ass nigga or somebody new in your DMs or on Instagram or social media or in person than for you to keep hitting up the same trash ass motherfucker that you've been dealing with. Definitely, of course, don't just go out here shooting anything. Have discernment, have love for yourself, know your boundaries, all the work you put on yourself up to this point, understand what that is. Even if it's a one-night stand, let it be a good, substantial one-night stand where you are pretty sure the person you're dealing with has all their fucking screws, and this person is taking care of themselves, even if they have mental things or they have emotional, spiritual, they go into therapy. People are taking care of themselves and they're honest about their convictions and stuff going on. That's a real nigga. You should look into that. People who have disabilities or have mental or learning disabilities are not unlovable, and that's probably why you ain't found nobody either, because you're not letting yourself open up. And I'm not saying you got to go out here and put yourself in positions, or purposely put yourself in positions where you are dealing and healing people and, you know, being people's support system 24/7. No. What I am saying is that there are many, many different people on this planet, and you should allow yourself to see them all and not put yourself in a box, which is probably why that rainbow jewelry came up, because open the spectrum of something. It ain't just got to be like open the spectrum of like you got to start dating men or start dating women or other people now. Really, like something like you start dating different types of women. Like maybe you only fuck with women that like motherfucking anime. Maybe you need to go fuck with some women who like motherfucking documentaries or some shit. Spice it up. Do some different shit. See if you just switch one little thing that you're not, that does something that doesn't compromise your integrity or your boundaries or something. Something simple like opening up your racist or anti-black or whatever type of self-hatred views too. Like maybe you like, I only date skinny people, or only date big people, or they gotta have a certain type of money, or they gotta drop all that superficial motherfucking fake ass shit. Really, 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 really consider the things. Back to who do you love? What do you love? Really figure out why your certain situations are going the way they are, be it with job or career, and see if the way you love and what you considering giving all your attention and time to might be in the wrong place, and how you can find your fulfillment in the places that it needs to be. I feel like you're not being bold enough, and you're not being open enough, and you're not being like yourself enough. And Leo, I think, is gonna help you get in that. Think that Leo energy, and I also think like you might have some emotional, sensitive, still these sensitive emotions, and I think it's okay. Just take care of them. That, like, again, like I said, you can still love other people and date other people and whatever, and still whatever. But make sure you still taking time for yourself, and you know that you're an individual and all that stuff. I think these cards are great. I think that was so crazy. So, recap. Don't jump to conclusions about people or things yet. Just give it some time and see what goes on, and keep being yourself. And that's the only thing you can do. Keep being authentic, and the situation will clear itself up. Knowing that you are moving from a lower vibrational place of anger and fear and anxiety and confrontation to a higher place of peace and compassion, and working with others and being of service, and being the bigger person, and all these things that are super important in times like this, where we are taught a lot about being intolerable of each other. And you don't have to put up with no bullshit. I just have to keep reiterating that. So let's close it out. I don't want nothing to happen to this video. Ashe for this video. Ashe to y'all. Thank y'all so much. Manifesting. Write some affirmations. Look, I don't know. I'll keep getting this message. Write some affirmations. Write some affirmations. Write some affirmations. Get your bag, your mind, whatever. Say what you want it. Write it down. What are the affirmations for us, ancestors, to close out this reading? Ashe. Period. 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 And I said it anyway. I said manifestations. And here go the card right here. Y'all what? Look, follow your intuition. Trust yourself. Period. 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 Abundance is coming in. Abundance is coming in. Abundance is coming in. Money and that shit that was kind of delayed with Mercury and all the retrogrades with Jupiter is going to be out of retrograde on August 11th. So keep all of that in mind. Everything is working the way it's supposed to. Life goes up and down, but we are in a place where it is going to be level out. We're going to peacer and calmer waters. Look how in this card there's like the wave, and then it's like the sun. We went from Cancer season to that Leo sun energy, okay? Sanctuary. Where you're at might not be a sanctuary right now. Find a sanctuary. Find space for sanctuary. A bath, another house, the lake, wherever you can find sanctuary. Wherever you can find it, find it. That is an affirmation and a thing for you. That is a place for you. And my phone about to let me know. So let me go ahead and hurry up. Manifestation. Go get your big wishes. If you have anything you wanted and it didn't have to worry about money, whatever it is, then go get it. I think you can write it down and say what it is, and use I am and I will. Like, really be on that. I've been telling my friends and telling people to really write that shit down and be about it. Up and downs. Life is up and downs, and those ups and downs make who you are, make your character, make the story. And they honor everything. And I think you should keep this story, the wind and the waves and the thunder and all that shit is just as important as the sun and when everything clears up. And I think you need to remember who was around you and who was there for you and who held you down and who brought you peace of mind when all that shit was tough. Because those people are just as important as the people who just want to be yes men and be there when everything's sweet. So keep that in mind too. A lot about it is about wonder. Wonder about the world. Wonder about people. Live in a place of wonder. Don't always assume the worst and be negative. Remove yourself from fear and move into a place of peace and love. And I think that's it. That's your reading, y'all. My nose is itching. These messages are coming in crazy. Just keep loving yourself, doing what you do. Do what you do. Do it. Do everything you say you're going to do. Do everything you're going to do and be about it and love it. And don't be okay with making mistakes. And mistakes don't mean it's not going to succeed. you're not going to succeed. The love is good. Everything's good. Trust yourself. Love yourself. Be about yourself. Be authentic. Be bold. Be vivacious. And know that every moment, and you don't need nobody to humble you or tell you to remain humble. The humbleness comes from these tough moments that we have that remind us that we're human and we have sadness and emotions. All that shit is what matters. Is that you grew and you're growing and you're reincarnating, you're rebirthing, and you're going to continue to live a long life. Don't live nihilistically. Live in a place of like, my life is long, I am abundant, I am healthy, I am authentic, and everything is working out the way it's supposed to, and everything will work out for the better of me and in my favor. Ashe. Peace, y'all.